Okay, they look after you very well here. They must have thought you couldn't hear me. And if you couldn't, maybe you can hear me now. And I'm mainly going to talk about people from the Stockton branch, because they're the ones I knew really well. People who died during this period of lockdown that were really very good friends of mine and very good friends of the Stockton branch. The first one I want to remember is John Gilder. John Gilder was a regular soldier, and astonishingly, he has served in the DLI, the DCLI, the SCLI, and the KSLI. Now, those people who served in the light infantry will know that were all the regiments of the light infantry, and he served in all of them. He had 9 years service in all. He served in Malaya, Hong Kong, Cyprus, Germany, Borneo, and the United Kingdom. He completed his service as a sergeant. And after his service, on retirement, he worked with the North Eastern Electricity Board. He was a member of the Stockton branch for over 45 years. He started as a member, and he finally became a vice president of the branch. John Gilder was a lovely guy. When he served, he hated officers. Later on, he found that most of his friends were officers. So I don't know who changed, whether it was us or him. The next person I would like to speak to you about is a man whose name was John Patterson. John Patterson was a national service soldier, and he served in the 1st Battalion of the Somerset Light Infantry from 1951 to 52. He was posted to the Light Infantry Training Centre in 1951, and he later served in the 6th Battalion of the Durham Light Infantry. This was probably because he was originally a farmer, and his farm was close to the 6th Battalion base, and he served there for some time. However, he was very much a wheeler dealer, was John, and he knew that if he was going to be doing anything, it wouldn't be in farming. And so he came to Stockton and started his business. And indeed, it went very well. But he didn't brag about it, he just made sure that people benefited. I remember for years, I went to a party he held every year on his birthday, which was around about 20th of July, in his garden. He had a huge garden on the slopes of the old bank of the River Tees before they changed its course. And it used to get full of people, children, adults, old people, young people. The children loved it. They could chase around and hide behind everything and pop out in front of people. And he made everything available in terms of the buffet and in terms of the barbecue that he ran there. And John loved that party. And I have to say, so did I. Cliff McCormick. Cliff McCormick, he was a boy soldier in Shorncliffe. And his first adult service was in Borneo, which he completed in his early 20s. He worked in the MT section and qualified as an HGV driver. In the 1970s, he completed 3 tours of Northern Ireland, and I'm sure you all know how stressful that was. On retirement, however, he joined the Territorial Army, and because of his HGV, I think, and delivery, he joined the RAOC, Royal Army Ordnance Corps, and he was in that for 6 years. In total, he completed 18 years service. Later on, he was struck down and confined to a wheelchair. A terrible thing, really. But nevertheless, he came to our branch meetings. His partner, Linda, brought him every week, every month to our meetings, and we were all pleased to see him. And Cliff never lost heart. Bernard Kelly. Now, Bernard Kelly was probably the most unusual of the people I'm remembering, because Bernard Kelly was not an army member at all. He was a member of the Royal Navy, and he used to love to entertain people. He had a concertina, I think it was called a concertina.
Accordion, sir.
Accordion, was it? Accordion. There you are, someone who really knows better than me. And he used to love to come and entertain people with his playing, his music, his humour, and his song and dance. He wasn't really a light infantryman or a DLI man, but nevertheless, he was one of us, and we loved him for it. Sean Atkin. Sean Atkin was quite a new member of the branch. He joined boys' service straight from school in 1972. And after passing out, he moved into adult service in the 3rd Battalion of the Light Infantry. And one of the things he really liked to do was shoot. And he was a really good shot. And he was part of the battalion shooting team. And one of the things he would have liked to have done had he stayed was be a sniper. It's a funny thing, that, really, because what a sniper does is kill people secretly. He didn't become a sniper, but he certainly could have done, because he was that good shot. And he came and joined us, and he served with us. He served in Northern Ireland for 2 years, and he then retired. And what he really liked to do, as Janet will tell you, he liked to fish. And we have a lovely picture of him standing with a great big fish. I think it's a pike, isn't it? About this big on him. And that's what he loved to do. And we lost him during the time. Those were the Stockton people. One or two other people. George Todd. He was a soldier who served in the 1st Battalion of the Durham Light Infantry, and he served in Berlin, and he served as part of the British Army of the Rhine. He served in Hong Kong, and all the 1st Battalion in Hong Kong loved their service in Hong Kong, but what they looked forward to was coming back at the end of that tour to the UK. And then it was dropped on them. They weren't coming back to the UK, were they? They were going into Borneo. And they were going into Borneo to defend against the Indonesians under Sukarno, whose aim was to try and infiltrate into Sabah and Kalimantan to try and get the filthy colonists out. Well, they didn't succeed. And the Durham Light Infantry served over there, and he, George Todd, served with them, and then he came back to England. But he also served in Cyprus, and on retirement from the army, he joined the DLI Association and the Constance Stanley Branch. And some of his dependents hoped to be here today, but it wasn't possible to do that. And the last person I'm going to mention is a man called Michael Killeen. Michael Killeen was born in 1956, and he was only 63 when he died. So by present-day standards, a young man. And he died in Easington. He served in A Company, 7LI, and I remember being the company commander in 7LI, and he was a member there. He was a section commander and then a driver. And he was another one who was very keen on shooting and sports. And one of the things he liked to do was get really fit, and he made sure he was. He became a gym instructor and worked in the health works at Easington until his extremely untidy death. Now, they're the only ones I'm going to speak of today, but there are plenty of others who served with us in the DLI, whether it was 7LI, 1st Battalion, 2nd or 3rd Battalion. They're all soldiers as we were, and we remember them with sadness and great respect. Thank you.